Hi there, I'm Kathy. Thanks for stopping by. So, I started this channel, Chronic to Carnivore, to document my journey and share the amazing things that are happening in my life. So, for years, I've struggled with chronic illness and fatigue, um, literally life changing to the point where I was just on the couch all the time for the past few years. And my doctors labeled me with idiopathic, long COVID, hormonal imbalance, AKA, we don't know what the heck is wrong with you. So I'm going to hand you off to this specialist and I'm going to brush you off and tell you there's nothing I can do for you and just give you some medication, and then I'm going to give you more medication to combat the side effects of that medication. It's just a perpetual cycle of hell where you start to feel completely worthless, um, and hopeless, honestly, to the point where you just want to give up. But I couldn't give up. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, and my people need me. And so most of the time, I would get up, do what I need to do, and lay back on the couch because that was my refuge. My head hurts so bad every day. I have idiopathic intracranial hypertension, which, if you don't know, I can talk about that in another video. But basically, I have too much fluid in my brain, and the only option to fix that would be heavy duty diuretics, which ruined my kidneys. So I had to go off of those, and or a shunt, which I wasn't going to let happen. And so for me, it was just, get through it every single day, but I was miserable. I shied away from invites to activities for my family. My kids suffered because of that. And I was the one behind the camera, never in front of it, if you know what I mean. I just didn't want people to see me. I was depressed and miserable and really unhappy. I tried everything. I mean, I've tried every diet under the sun. And for the last year and a half, I've been plant-based. I tried vegan, but mostly vegetarian. And I literally had an aversion to meat. Ironically, my husband works for one of the largest beef manufacturers in the world. So it's always kind of a joke, he'd bring home meat and I'd cook it for him, but I'd be like, well, couldn't stand it. And so this year, 4th of July, I took the kids to see the fireworks and I came back exhausted as usual and just wanted to get everybody to bed. And I said, you know what? It's Independence Day. I need freedom. I need freedom from this misery. This is going to be my Independence Day. I got to figure something out. And so I laid down and I turned on YouTube and came across some creators who were talking about the carnivore diet. I was like, oh gosh, I can't do that. I can't stand meat. I mean, I can't chew it. I have EOE. It gets stuck in my throat. I'm going to choke to death. All these excuses that, I've been hanging on to for years. And I said, you know what the heck? And I watched a few more things about autophagy and low carb. And I said, you know what, I can do this. So the next day, July 5th, I started low carb and then intermittent fasting. By day 2, I wanted to kill somebody. I thought, I can't do this. It's miserable. And then something shifted. Day 3, I did a 20-hour fast. At least that's what I wanted to do. And all of a sudden it was 22 hours. And I'm like, what? I haven't eaten. What the heck? I'm not hungry. I almost felt euphoric. I was moving. I was up off the freaking couch. I was cleaning the house. Not that I never cleaned my house, but I didn't really want to. I had so much energy. It was crazy. And had all of these ideas running through my head. And I'm like, oh my gosh, something's shifting here. So I went a few more days of low carb. I stood under 25 carbs and I was priming myself for carnivore. Terrified because I thought I cannot possibly eat meat. That was day 7, I guess. And I cooked bacon and sausage and some hamburgers. And I forced myself to eat them. And ironically, oh my God, they tasted okay. I didn't choke. And I wanted more and I wanted more and I wanted more. And then I had some eggs and I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. It's not so bad. And, I'm thinking, okay, eventually I have to eat a piece of steak, right? Because I haven't done that in years and I'm probably going to choke to death. I can't do this. So I kept eating, basically just ground beef, ground pork. Didn't have $1,000 to go out and buy a bunch of steak. And so I just eased myself into it. Well, I started losing weight. I kept feeling better. All of a sudden, I'm walking 10,000 steps a day. I'm chasing after my kids, much to their chagrin. My marriage, things are different. My hormones are balancing out. It's like, what, I actually realized I have my husband, the poor guy who's been suffering through menopause for all these years with me. Um, Everything shifted. It was crazy. And I'm like, you know what? This is not a diet. This is a freaking lifestyle change. I'm going to shout from the rooftops. I have to tell everybody I'm going to be a siren. I have to sound the alarm. I mean, if this can work for me, it's got to be able to work for other people. And I kept seeing more and more creators and how their lives had changed. I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to know about this. This is totally against everything I've ever been taught and ever learned, and everything that I thought would ever work for me, but it does. It works for me. Um, if you feel brushed off, if you feel hopeless, if you feel like there is no other option and you haven't tried this, you need to. Um, you know, Obviously, everybody is different. Everybody's going to have different results. It's all about what you put into it. But honestly, if you want to, follow along with my journey, follow along with all the other creators out there that, have a lot more experience than I do with this. But join us, one bite at a time. Honestly, it's literally one bite at a time. That's how it went for me. And I really believe that healing is possible for anybody that tries this. So I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep sharing. And next time I'm going to talk about how I'm keeping myself accountable. I hope you'll join me and take care.